Greetings of the day, class. I hope that you all are good and doing well. Today we are going to start a new chapter from your book Beehive, chapter number 3, The Little Girl. It is written by Catherine Mansfield. We are going to start this chapter with an introduction. Let's start. So today's date is 7th May 20, Thursday. Introduction of the story. The story, The Little Girl by Catherine Mansfield, beautifully depicts the delicate relationship and the strong bond between parents and children. Between parents and children. Sometimes the parent seems to be dominate their children, but they are actually being protective. Although they are very dominating, but they are protective and concerned. And they are concerned about the security and well-being of their little ones. Young children tend to interpret the stern behavior of their parents in a negative way. However, their mutual bond is so strong that they soon realize that behind the seemingly unforgiving attitude of their parents lies a soft corner full of love. So this was the introduction of our story. Now let's move toward what is the theme of the chapter. Children have a natural attachment with their parents. They always desire what they desire to receive love and affection. Receive love and affection from their parents. The rude behavior of parents only develops a deep sense of separation among the children. However, even if our parents are rude, even if they are rude, they still have only one desire. And what is the desire? That they want to make us successful. They work hard to make their children happy. Okay, they all do everything because they want their children to be successful and happy. So this was the theme of the chapter. Now let's move toward what the message we are getting from this chapter. So what message we are getting from this chapter? The story conveys a beautiful message that there is a very strong bond between parents and children. This bond has the strength to survive every type of challenge. However, in order to prepare their little children for the hardship of adult life, parents resort to strict. They have to be strict. They have to give the strict punishments, and it is difficult for children to understand the truth motive behind the stern action. They don't understand what is the true motive behind the strict actions of their parents. As a result, they develop negativity. But at a very early age, they start think negative about their parents. Therefore, the story gives message to both the children and the parents. Children should trust their parents, means children should trust their parents. Whatever they are doing, it is for their well-being. And parents should understand the physical punishment can leave emotional scars that hampers the growth of a balanced personality of their child. So the responsibility to strengthen the parent-child bond rests equally on both. Means it depends on both of parents and children. So students, this was the introduction, theme and message. Now we'll start explanation of the chapter paragraph wise. So here You can see a book-like page I have created on your screen. So the title of the chapter is The Little Girl. Before starting it, we'll read before you read. Do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reason for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. Means, do you really understand your parents? You might have felt some changes in their behavior earlier or today. As you are growing up, they might be strict in some areas and they might be very frank regarding some topics. So this is the changes occurs according to our age. This story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. So we are going to read a story about a girl and we can correlate her feeling with ours. Now and then we must have felt the same thing about our parents also. So let's start. To the little girl. To the little girl means the character, the main character of the story. He was a figure to be feared and avoided. Means the little girl, her name was Kezia, and he refers to her father, was a figure to be feared and avoided. He was a figure, he was a person to be feared. To be feared means a person to be feared and avoided, like avoid him, don't face that person if you are scared of and you don't want to face that person. Every morning before going to work he come into her room and gave her a casual kiss. Before going to his work, he used to come to her room and used to give her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye father, and to which she used to respond as bidding goodbye to her father. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief. And really, after this, when her father used to go to work, she used to feel relieved. When she heard the noise of the carriage means horse cart, carriage growing fainter and fainter. When her father used to go to work, when she would not able to hear the noise of the carriage, and it become fainter and fainter, lesser or lesser, down to the long road. In the evening, when he came home, she stood, and when he used to come in the evening, she used to stand near the staircase. And where she used to stand? Near the staircase, and heard his loud voice in the hall, and she used to listen what he used to speak. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there. Mother means whom he is referring, mother? To his mother, means Kezia's grandmother. He used to ask all those things to bring to his mother, means Kezia's grandmother, to bring tea, to see the newspaper, because he was not having time to read newspaper in the morning. That's why he used to read the newspaper in the evening. When he used to come back home, would see if my paper out there and bring me my sleeper. And else what he used to demand? The sleepers. Kezia, mother would call to her, grandmother would call Kezia, if you are a good girl, and if you are a good girl, you come down and take off father's boots. And what she used to ask Kezia? To come and help your father in removing the boots. Slowly the girl would slip down the stair, and slowly the girl used to calm down, because she was scared. She was not like very happy when her father used to come to home. She was scared. More slowly still, across the hall, and she used to walk slowly in the hall and push open the drawing room. And she used to open the drawing room very scarily, like she used to feel very feared or scared. By that time He had his spectacles on and looked, and by that time when she used to enter in the room, her father already had put the spectacle on his nose and he used to read the newspaper at her over then in a way that was terrifying to the little girl, and he used to look in a way to her that it was more terrifying for the little girl. It was more terrifying to the little girl. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. He used to command her, like, hurry up, come, take these boots and keep them outside. Have you been a good girl today? And what kind of behavior you had today? Were you a good girl today? I don't know, father. As she used to very scared, what reply she used to give? I don't know, father. You don't know. You, like, he is repeating the same sentence of his daughter. You don't know. If you stutter means if you are going to stammer like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. He used to warn her, like, if you are going to speak this way, then your grandmother or mother will need to take you to the doctor. What is the reason behind you do speak like that? She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the word properly. She never stuttered in front of other people, and she was speaking very normally. Had quietly given up means she totally speaking very fine in front of other. But as she was very scared of her father, she used to stammer and she was not able to reply him back confidently. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Why you are so worried about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Means what? Here, Kezia. Mother, I think you must have taught this girl how to be confident, how to talk, or how to deal with the day-to-day situation. Carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Now he used to order her, Kezia, here Kezia, take my teacup and keep it back on the table. He was so big. How Kezia used to think about her father, his hand and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Like he was very big, his hand, his neck, his mouth, and especially when he used to yawn. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Like when she used to think about her father, he looked like a giant to Kezia. On Sunday afternoon, grandmother sent her down to drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So on Sunday, as they were very busy whole week, her father used to do work, going early and coming late. And when he used to come, he was tired. He was not able to spend proper time with family. So on Sunday, grandmother sent Kezia to father so that she can have a nice talk. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on sofa. But whenever she used to go on Sundays, her mother used to read the newspaper and father used to sleep stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on no one of the his feet on one of the best cushion, sleeping soundly and snoring. So he used to sit. His feet would be on a best cushion, and he used to sleep soundly and very deeply. She sat on a stool as her grandmother sent her to spend some time and to have nice talk with parents. She used to sit there on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched. So she used to look at her father seriously until he won't woke up and until wake up and ask the time. when looked at her. When he used to get up, he would ask the time and then he looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. Don't stare so. Don't look at me like this. You look like a little owl, and don't look like this because when you look this way, you look like a little brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoor with a cold means the weather was cold and she was not well. She was asked to keep inside the house. Her grandmother told, who told? Grandmother told that, and what she told? That father's birthday was next week. And what did she tell her? That her father's birthday is coming next week. And she suggested her, Kezia, that she should make him a pin cushion because he used to use cushion for resting. So her grandmother suggested her that she should make a pin cushion as a gift out of beautiful yellow of piece of yellow silk. So the girl was also agreed, and she also agreed, and she also wanted to make something for her father. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched three sides. Very like lots of efforts. She made a cover and she stitched it with three sides. But what to fill in it? Now, if she is making cushion, it should be comfortable and filled with some soft material. So, what to fill in it? That was the question now. She had made the cover, but now what to fill in it? The grandmother was out in the garden, and that time when she needed the suggestion, her grandmother was out in the garden, and she wandered in the mother's bedroom. And where she went into her mother's bedroom to look for scraps, and she was looking for scraps. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, and on the bed table, a table beside the bed, she found lots of fine paper, gathered them, she took them without any permission, up, tore them, and first of all, what was her mistake? That she has taken the paper without permission and even tore them into tiny pieces. But for her, there was a good motive behind it, and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. And what she did? She took the pieces and filled the case or filled the cover with it and stitched it the fourth side also. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. But what happened? What was the result of it? That there was lots of shouting with anger and crying in the house. Father, and what was the reason? Father's great speech for the Port Authority. So what were the papers? They were the speech of Kezia's father, and where he was about to deliver that speech. The Port Authority had been lost. He was about to deliver the speech on Port Authority, and those speech was lost. And we all know where it has gone. Rooms were searched, servant questioned. So like her mother searched everywhere, her father searched everywhere, and they even asked with the question with the servant that have they had, like by mistake have they taken it or what. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room, and finally she came to Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. Like her mother questioned her, have you seen some papers on in our rooms in this on the table? Oh yes, as Kezia was innocent. Oh yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. Means like she admitted she was telling the truth. And what? Like I have taken them and torn them. I have torn them for my surprise. What? Screamed mother, and now she was angry and she was screaming, come straight down to the dining room this instant, come immediately to the dining room. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro. Now she was dragged down, like her mother took her to the place where her father was moving to and fro, here from here and here to there to here, hand behind his back, and he was having his hands behind. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. Well, he said sharply. When mother explained each and everything, he said, well, he stopped and stared at the child. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Did you do that? He wanted to confirm it, like whether she has done it or not. No, 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 like she was confused or scared. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing, like damn thing, whatever, what gift or paper, what she has made, like bring that thing down. See that the child put to bed this instant and keep that girl to the bedroom this instant. Crying too much to explain, like the Kezia, she was crying too much because she wanted to explain. She lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little patterns on the floor, and she was in the dark room and she was watching. What she was scared now, what is going to be, what is going to happen next, and she was looking at the light pattern on the floor. Like whenever we are sad, we will see only sad things, and whenever we are in happy mood, we will see happy things. Then father came into the room. Then what happened? Father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. And what he was having in the hand? Ruler. And what is the purpose of having the ruler? It is for giving the punishment. I am going to beat you for this. I'm going to beat you for this. You must be thinking that her father was very cruel or what. But when we are doing mistakes, it is compulsory for us, for our parents also, that somehow they give us some kind of punishment so that we can learn a lesson. He said, oh, no, no. She screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. Bedclothes means bed sheet and all. She tried to hide herself in the bed sheets. He pulled them aside. He pulled all those bed sheets aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. Like hold out your hand straight. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. And what was the reason he was so angry? Like we should not touch others' things without their concern or without their permission. But it was for your birthday. It was for your birthday. Come down, the ruler on her little pink palm. And then he gave a ruler on her little palm, pink palm. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in rocking chair, like after some hours later, grandmother came into her room. She wrapped her means Kezia, her refers to Kezia, in a shawl and rocked her in a rocking chair. You know rocking chair, like comfort chair, you can sit on it and you can have a somersault. The child clung to her soft body, and she was stick to her soft body as she was very scared, and she used to love her grandmother a lot. What did God make fathers for? Now she was very angry and upset, and she was thinking, why did God make father for? What is the purpose of making father? They are only for giving punishment, or they are so rude or so strict. She sobbed. Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep. Like her grandmother, she wanted to calm her down. You will forget all about it in the morning. Why she said so? Because it happens with us. If we face any bad thing or any fighting with friends or scolding from parents, we cannot hold on to it for long. We forget it very soon because we love them. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. Like Kezia said, I tried to explain why I have torn the pages, but he was not ready to listen anything. But the child never forgot. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind. And why she put both hands behind? Because she has got the punishment. So she could not forget it. And whenever she used to see her father, she would keep her hands at the back. And red colored flew into her cheeks, and she used to feel very scared whenever she used to see her father. The McDonald's. McDonald's means like we have surnames like Guptas and Sharmas, like in foreign they are having such kind of surnames. So they were having a neighbor, they were McDonald's. McDonald's means the whole family, McDonald's, lived next door. So they were their neighbors. They had five children. Mr. and Mrs. McDonald's, they have five children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw, and what did see like Kezia saw that Mr. McDonald, and you can see in the picture, she is Kezia and she is looking through the uh, fence. Like Mr. McDonald, he was playing with his kids. And what did she saw? What did she see? The father with the baby. The little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. They used to play in the evening. The father with the baby Mao in his shoulder, like you can see a child on a shoulder, and two little girls hanging on his coat pocket. Like this girl you can see they are clinging to the pockets, and ran round and round the flower bed shaking with laughter. Like they were playing, they were moving round, and flower beds they were shaking, they were playing, so there were movement in the flower beds. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. Like they were playing very happily with their father. So she was thinking, she was having a very strict and rude father. So earlier she used to think that all the fathers are like this only, they're very strict. Then it was she decided there were different sort of fathers. Then she came to know all fathers are not very strict. Some are very happy and very cheerful. Suddenly one day mother became ill. What happened one day? One day Kezia's mother, she fell ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. She means her mother and grandmother, they went to hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice. Who was Alice? The cook. The Alice was cook. That was all right in the daytime. So she was at home with Alice, the cook. It was okay at daytime. But while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. She became very afraid. And what was the reason? What will I do if I had a nightmare? She asked. What will I do if I'm going to have a nightmare? What is nightmare? A bad dream. I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed. I cannot stay in dark. It's all gets whispery. So she complained like I often see nightmares, and whenever I see nightmares, Granny takes me into her bed and stays in dark. It's like I cannot stay in dark. It's all whispery. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice. She was a servant. You just go to sleep. Pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. Like what Alice said, don't scream and don't wake your pa up because he is tired and he is taking rest. But the same old nightmare came. But what happened that day? Same old nightmare. And what was the nightmare? The butcher with a knife, a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smiling, while she could not move. She could not move, could only stand still, crying, "Grandma, Grandma!" And what was her nightmare? That she saw a butcher. Butcher is a person who sells meat and cuts animals. Butcher, he was having a knife and a rope, and he was coming nearer and nearer to Kezia, and he was having a very dreadful or very fearful smile and scary smile, and she could not move, she could not move, or she just standing at a place, she is just standing at a place and crying. And what she is crying? Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering, and this was her dream, and she woke shivering, and she was shaking with fear. And what she saw, her father beside her bed, a candle in his hand, and she was crying, "Grandma, Grandma," in dreams. And when she woke up, she found her father standing beside her, having a candle in his hand. "What's the matter?" he asked. "What's the matter? Kya hua?" She said, "Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny. A butcher, a knife. I want Granny." He blew out candle. He blew out candle, went down and caught up the child in his arm. He went down and he took Kezia in his arm, carrying her along the passage, and he took her, Kezia, into his room, to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed, and what did Kezia see there? She saw newspaper laying on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tugged up the child. He kept the newspaper aside. He tugged up, put the child on the bed and covered her. He lay down beside her. He knew that his daughter is scared, and he lay down beside her, half asleep still. And he was like half sleeping. Still, with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed, and still she could imagine the butcher's smile. She crept close to him, and she went close to her father, snuggled her head under his arm, and she put her head under her father's arm, held tightly to his shirt, and she held tightly to his shirt. Then the dark did not matter. Now she was having her father beside her, and now darkness doesn't matter for her. She lay still. "Here, rub your feet against my feet and get them warmer," said father. Who said this? Father. Like, rub your feet against my feet because they are cold. Father said. This sentence shows that he is also a very caring father. Tired out. He slept before the little girl. He tired out means he was tired, so he slept before the little girl could sleep. A funny feeling came over her. Now see students, earlier she was scared. Now she is feeling funny over her. Poor father. Not so big after all. She used to think he is a giant, but now she is hugging him. She could feel that he is not so big after all, and with all, no one to take after him, and he is a poor one because nobody is there to look after him. He is looking after everyone in the house, but no one is there to look after him. He was harder than grandmother was soft, she was a lady, and men are they're always harder than female. So he was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. But today it was a nice hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. McDonald. Now she could understand why her father didn't play with her, because all day he was working very hard for all of them, and he was too tired to play. He cannot be like Mr. McDonald. She had torn up all the beautiful writings, and she could understand why her father had punished her, because she has torn up all the beautiful writings. She stirred suddenly. Now she shook little bit suddenly and sighed. She released a breath. "What's the matter?" asked her father. "Another dream." And when still he was sleeping, but he could sense the sigh, breath, and he asked because he was concerned. "Another dream? Have you seen another dream?" "Oh," said the little girl, "my head's on your heart. I can hear it going." And what she replied? My head is on your heart, on your chest, and I can hear it going. How your heart is pumping, and how your heart is um, beating. What a big heart you have got, dear father." Now she has developed lots of love for her father. So this chapter was written by Catherine Mansfield. I hope that you have understood this chapter very well. So for now, this was our lecture for third chapter. Thank you, class. We will meet soon.